Today we are going to talk about an important discovery of science, biophotons. And we'll see how this theory or discovery has implications with Jain philosophy. There are examples of biologists finding physical forces inadequate to explain physiological processes, leading them to speculate about presence of some hidden intelligent force that produces biological structures. This is an important speculation that only the material forces are not enough to explain the biological processes, but there is some intelligent force. Molecules have no intelligence, despite the manifold impressive functions that have been assigned to them. Even the enzymes or messenger molecules have to be triggered by external energy, that is photons, which activate the diversion transition state complexes. That means, all the processes taking place in the body biologically had to be triggered by some external energy, such as photons. There is an important discovery of biophotons. It is now well established that all living systems emit a weak light current of some photons. Scientists found that the nature of this weak light emitted by living cells is different from the sunlight and called these light photons as biophotons. So, every living being is emitting some kind of weak light. And how weak is this light? This is almost equal to the light coming from a candle placed at a 10-kilometer distance. So how feeble is this light, you can imagine. But scientists have measured this light in the body, in the biological systems. And they found that all living cells emit this light, and this light is different from sunlight. Sunlight also consists of photons, but these photons which are emitted inside the body are different from the light photons, and therefore they call them as biophotons. Biophotons covers the whole spectrum of range from UV to infrared. In the entire spectrum, these photons are emitted. Almost equal number of photons is distributed throughout the spectrum range, and mathematically they have called it F lambda is constant. What does it mean? It means that these biophotons which are being emitted in the body, they are at all frequencies of the light spectrum, and at each frequency the same amount of biophotons are being emitted, which means that F lambda is constant. So this is a little deviation from the normal sunlight, where in the spectrum range the number of photons is dependent on the frequency. Now here they are independent of frequency. Biophoton emission is a few up to some 100 photons per second per centimeter square. Normally we talk about the human body. In the human body, per centimeter square surface or the area of the body, few photons or few hundred photons can be emitted. All organisms emit biophotons at a steady rate. This is an important part. It's not only the human being, all animals, all insects, even plants, bacteria, every living organism is emitting biophoton. So it is a characteristics of a living being. Organisms are emitters as well as receivers of coherent electromagnetic signals. This is another part. We continuously emit electromagnetic signals. Our body is doing it, as well as our body is constantly receiving such coherent electromagnetic signals from other objects or other bodies. The non-thermal photons provide the right quantum of energy at the right place and right time for the millions of reactions taking place per second per cell. Let us understand this statement. The first thing is, this is a non-thermal photon. So it means that there are also thermal photons. The thermal photons are being emitted because of heat, thermal. So all objects that way are emitting photons. Even inanimate objects, they are emitting photons, but they are thermal photons. Because of the heat or temperature, such photons are being emitted. These photons, which biophotons, which we are talking of, are not thermal. They are not emitted because of heat in the body. This is some other process by which these biophotons are being emitted. And what these biophotons are doing. So scientists have discovered that these biophotons in fact control reactions in a cell. And there are millions and millions of reactions going on in a cell per second. See the amount of activity which is taking place in a cell. Millions of reactions going on per second. Now, if these reactions had to take place in a proper way, then they had to be supplied energy, because no reactions take place without energy. Without triggering that, a reaction has to be triggered. So the scientists now find that these are the biophotons. The biophotons which are really responsible for this kind of activity in a cell. And what the biophotons are doing, they are supplying right quantum energy at right place and at right time. Okay, for every reaction. There are millions of reactions. For each one of them, the energy is being supplied by the biophotons at the right place so that the reaction is triggered and at the right time. Okay, this is a big discovery, in fact.